Hi, my name is Richard Schickel, and I've written a book called The IRS Whistleblower. That's me in my office, as you can see, same person. This book is written about as a memoir about my 33 years with the Internal Revenue Service and the experiences that I had and the knowledge and the wisdom that I derived from working from the Internal Revenue Service. And I figured out that maybe what my life was all about was something that a lot of people would be interested in because the IRS is a mysterious force that a lot of people don't really know anything about, which makes it a big fear machine for a lot of people. And even when you're trying to deal with the IRS, you're not getting uh, a fair advantage because you don't know enough about how the IRS thinks, the culture, and the motivations of the employees. There's a lot of ideas in the book, in addition to the memoir part, a lot of secrets that people could use in their negotiations, and also to hopefully provoke public policy changes. One of the most outrageous things that I think is that the IRS has issued reports that show between 14 and 20% of people in this country never file or pay income taxes. People that would have income that was taxable. So that's 80% of people doing the right thing, filing and paying. Most of the people who are W 2 wage earners are doing the right thing and filing and paying their share of the tax burden. But these other 20% of the people are not. That's disturbing. And as a taxpayer myself, I think it's outrageous. And also, other outrageous things that we talk about in the book are that the IRS, due to its 54-year-old computer system, which is an IBM 370, which runs BASIC and a little Cobalt and Fortran, is unable to stop the fraudulent tax refund claims that people in the United States and other countries are filing with the IRS. And the IRS actually pays out $50 billion a year to these people. That's my tax money, and that makes me angry. That's another reason I wrote the book. Even worse than that, in my mind, are people who file tax returns or never file tax returns and collect Social Security credits because of a little known Social Security loophole, which allows them to get credit and lifetime of Social Security benefits without ever having paid a nickel into the Social Security system. This is because the IRS doesn't share information other than the reported income with the Social Security Administration. It's a big problem and it needs to change. And speaking of changing, Congress has abused the IRS for the last 5 years with budget cuts every year, and we have a population at the IRS which is demoralized and dispirited and just really unable to do the right thing for taxpayers and for the government. So when you call the IRS, only 40% of the calls are being picked up. Part of this is because of a lack of employees. Also, part of it is because 40% of the employees can retire in the next 4 years. And this is a tax system that collects $3.1 trillion, primarily based on employment taxes and Social Security taxes, along with income taxes. And what's happening now, as I show in the book IRS Whistleblower, is that the system is slowly being eroded away with these congressional cuts. The book also tells stories about how the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing in IRS. So even when you do try to resolve your case, you might not find the right person in the system that can actually help you to resolve your case. It also shows other secrets that the IRS does not want you to know, one of which is called the reasonable cause penalty abatement, part of the Internal Revenue Code, and the other is called first time penalty abatement waiver. You won't even find that first time penalty abatement waiver on the IRS computer at all. It could save people tens of thousands of dollars in penalties that they're being assessed that the law says that they should be relieved from paying. And that's a big problem. So the IRS can be big and bad and scary and abusive, and it hurts people, and also brings an atmosphere of fear, and then fear and corruption, actually, because as the book shows, a lot of IRS employees have also used the tax system for personal gain, and that's a big problem. And then, of course, the people abusing the system, filing for the $50 billion a year in false refunds, is a problem. So the better choice that you can make if you have any dealings with the IRS, with a criminal case, an audit case, or a collection case, is to get as much information as you can from my book and other books, and figure out how to deal with the IRS, because the IRS is the most dangerous creditor in the world. The IRS can seize your cash, bank accounts, autos, business, and most of your wages, all without once going to court or getting a formal judgment. Learn how to stop the IRS before they stop you. I'm Richard Schickel. You can find my book on Amazon, and the book is called IRS Whistleblower. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I don't know that this